Hi, it's Saturday, so I thought I'd mention a few things. This week has been really interesting to me because the clarity of what happened with Will Smith and Chris Rock and the way in which the employer handled the situation is appalling. The fact that I don't know other societies, but I know here I'm in Texas, I am absolutely appalled by the conversations being had about Will Smith and Chris Rock, as though it's questionable whether it's okay to batter a performer. There's no doubt lines have been crossed, and I don't know how we get back to the other side. I don't know how we get back to a side where a country, Russia, does not invade another country, murdering them, killing them, committing genocide. What is the amends for that? Does this mean that Ukraine gets all of Russia's oil until they are paid back for all of the harms that were done? And how do they pay for the lives that were lost? How is it that we as a society, and we as a Earth society, as we as people on this planet, deal with countries invading other countries and murdering people? Now it's very clear that people on stage can be battered, and the victim is going to be asked what they want to do in public versus the company being in charge of their goodwill, missions, visions, ethics, rules, laws. And then Ginny Thomas with the Supreme Court being a conspirator in the insurrection of the United States, and there being questions about whether or not Justice Thomas committed an illegal act by violating a law that indicates he is not allowed to have made the judicial decision that he did. So now we already know that ex-President Trump is above the law. He was very clear that he said he could murder somebody on Fifth Avenue, and it's true. We saw him batter peaceful protesters so that he could take a photo of him holding a Bible upside down with all of his top military people in alignment with him, and nothing happened. Or what you could say did happen is now you have half of the United States believing that the rightful president is not, and that a liar and a cheater is. I don't know how we deal with this. I know that when I hear on the news or in conversations somebody talking about judicial decorum, as far as I'm concerned, accusing senators of being alcoholics and getting angry and yelling and screaming is judicial decorum. Because when the Congress of the United States allowed Kavanaugh to become a justice, they authorized that to be the new decorum of a judge. I mean, I know it's different for the person that is now interviewing to be the justice, because she's black, and so of course they're going to hold her to a higher standard. I don't know how to deal in this world with all of this. I don't know how to keep communicating with people who are okay with people being battered and then want to find out about his history. When I was a prosecutor, nobody cared about the defendant's background. I was more defendant friendly, and I got in trouble. I got yelled at and brought into chambers by judges because they thought I was too defense friendly, because I believed in all defendants having their constitutional rights and being innocent until proven guilty. So as far as where on the line as far as being a prosecutor is concerned, I abided by my oath, but I also felt that as a prosecutor, I was responsible for the last line of defense for constitutional rights to the defendants that were in front of me. We usually never know how defendants see us. We might only hear about some bad ones or some good ones. Fortunately, I was in a situation where one of the defendants who was in front of me a week prior had the opportunity to be a juror on one of my jury trials, and of course I allowed him to be. He indicated he could be fair and impartial. Nothing in his background indicated that he couldn't, and I believe in people in the criminal system being able to be jurors and being able to vote. I do not believe that as a society we should be stopping somebody because they actually know different parts of the system to then be involved in parts of the system. I'm shocked. I'm not shocked. I'm in a state of confusion because the level of acceptance of narcissism is one that my values do not support. And so if you listen to Richard Grannnon, he explained it really, really well. People are in a state of confusion when what is happening to them is outside of what they can understand. And I'm appalled by the acceptance of the behavior that is tolerated, and I think that the DOJ needs to get a lot quicker and understand that your job is not to your job is limited, and a big part of your job is to bring forth cases that are where you believe the defendant is beyond a reasonable doubt, but not beyond all doubt. That is not the rule. It is not beyond all doubt, it is beyond reasonable doubt. And reasonable doubt is common sense. It's common sense. If you have the President of the United States, who is in charge of the execution of the laws of the United States, not stop an insurrection, that is a dereliction of duty and a break in their oath. If you have any congressman who is also doing the same, that is a break of their oath, and therefore they are not allowed to be in that position as a violation of their oath. It is not a First Amendment right, it is an action. We have First Amendment rights to say what you want to a limited extent, but not to do what you want. You can only do what you want to a limited extent, and that is when you are infringing upon the liberties of other people. I'm appalled, and I don't see a solution to this. What do you think?